This is the book of Psalms, chapter 118, beginning at verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Verse 9, it is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. Book of Isaiah, chapter 10, starting at verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and the right grievousness which they have prescribed. Verse 2, to turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless. Proverbs chapter 29, beginning at verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory. Kol haloyim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Waha, Rachak, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutation to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives, freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, looking like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say shalom. This is the brother Yawasop out of the GMS camp in Cleveland, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power. Salakia, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And I just wanted to bring out this quick article. I know I jumped straight into scriptures, but, I was just scrolling through my phone, came across this article and, perfect example of just unrighteous decrees and the wickedness of this red Hebrew Edomite. I'm going to read the article. I brought up like a few scriptures from the get-go, and I'm going to end with a couple of scriptures. But this is a very interesting article to me because of the fact this dated today at 6 a.m. and it's from Cleveland.com. So it's basically literally in my state, my city. It says nearly 24,000 Ohioans told to repay unemployment system. Well, it's all around Ohio, basically. But to show you just how this devil works, you know what I mean? Like, this is a time, they really the devil when, like, literally they gave people $1,200 and, like, get through. And then, like, I read people's comments and whatnot. They like, shit, I didn't even get the first stimulus. You talk about the second one. So, at the end of the day, it's all the Lord's will, though, you know what I mean? Like I was just thinking, like right now I'm catching hell, and I realize that's the Lord that do that. If the Lord is the Lord that killeth and maketh alive, So even through, I guess, right now I'm getting tested, but I can actually say even with this, He didn't just leave me ass out. But that's neither here nor there. I found this article interesting because that's just showing you the devil. You know what I mean? Like literally, I'm gonna just read the article and let the article speak. So Salakia because I ain't trying to make it a 30-minute video like I normally do, trying to get quick and to the point. It says nearly 24,000 Ohioans told to repay unemployment system. It's by Sid Standerfer, and like I said, it was dated today. So it's showing you, and that's funny because I know exactly where that area is. That's off of St. Clair. So you got it says two women walked past a closed pizza shop on June 4th. So today is the 10th. So that's 6 days ago. And then they still lying though, like it says, the state says there are more than 34,000 Ohioans filed unemployment claims during the last week of May. That is the lowest figure since Ohioans stay-at-home orders depressed the economy and led to widespread layoffs. So because like I said, I'm looking at reports, they're trying to say that actually, they supposed to, once they opened the economy, they added like 2-point-something million jobs. Like this shit is so crazy. So they basically, because people are peons and stupid, you're going to have people, because they trying to justify why the stock market, throughout all this shit, the stock market is still, that's how you know the stock market is controlled. But let me bring out this article. It says, Marnie Behan got a surprising message last month from Ohio's Department of Job and Family Services about her ongoing unemployment payments. Instead of sending her next unemployment payment, they said she needed to pay the state back. The bill was almost $3,000. She had 45 days to repay the money or the case would be sent to the Ohio Attorney General. Since March 15th, new claims have inundated the state unemployment system at a level not seen since the Great Depression. And basically, like a lot of brothers was bringing out, because at the end of the day, the system wasn't designed to be like that. The system isn't designed to have this many people on unemployment. It's just like with the Social Security. You know what I mean? Like the system is designed for everybody to be. That's why it make it so hard. Like for instance, like unemployment, Salakia, not unemployment, but like workers' comp or SSI. You know what I mean? Like you got to actually file for that like multiple times before they, even if you legitly getting it. And it's funny, you know, like I know people that really weren't fucked up and was getting it, but then you had people like that literally were fucked up. I know a dude broke his back. They made him apply like 2 or 3 times before he got it. I got a family member in the world that really literally had a severe back injury and they didn't want to give it. But you know, sometimes it goes by based on you know, you have to have a certain amount of employment time, but still, you know what I mean? It's going to go into it because her case was they approved it, but they turned around and basically, you know, it's just showing you that this bitch is crumbling because the simple fact is this. Like literally, you got states going bankrupt. So how are they going to actually deal with that? They're going to either have to make more crime, make more arrests, or they're going to actually have to tax people more, which that's coming. It says, since March 15th, new claims have, I read that part of the way. It said, inundated the state unemployment system at a level not seen since the Great Depression. People waited weeks and months to have their claims processed and money dispersed. Now an increasing number are being ordered to give it all back. And that's just the Satan. You know what I'm saying? That if that ain't an unrighteous decree, they're going to give you something and then take it back. And then it says since March 15th, nearly 24,000 people have accounts listed as overpaid. So they're not even saying you did no fraud. They're saying they overpaid you for reasons other than fraud. About 3.5% of the people who have received benefits. The department didn't accuse Bayhan of lying on her application. The notice officially said it was non-fraud. In fact, after the governor ordered all restaurants to close and she lost her job at Buffalo Wild Wings, she had spent weeks arguing to the department that she qualified for payments. The department had initially ruled that the amount of money she made at the restaurant was too little to qualify for unemployment. She appealed, though, arguing that if they only counted the weeks she was employed instead of dividing her income over the whole year, because you got to make a certain amount of money. You know, I know one brother that literally didn't get it because he didn't make enough. To show you how full of shit this shit is. He doesn't like you paying into it regardless. You work to a company because the company that you work for basically pays into it out of your, like you basically paying into this. Anyhow, she appealed, arguing that if they only counted the weeks she was employed instead of dividing her income over the whole year, she met the threshold. Finally, the department came around to her way of thinking and they approved her. She received an approval notice and started getting weekly payments. It seems now they had changed their minds. So, because like I said, these people paint a pretty picture like Donald Trump and all these people talking about, you know what I mean? Because, like you got people really believing in that shit too. And that's why I read the scripture in Psalms 118. Woe to them that put their confidence in man. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you trusting that this man gonna get the system back. It's no bringing the system back. Actually, what they doing in your face is trying to create a new system. It seems now they had changed their minds. The department declined. They don't even want to comment on it. They said the department declined to comment on her individual case. I almost cried, she said. I was like, I can't do this. I fought so long just to get approved in the first place, and it took over a month. I thought I was never going to get paid. And probably desperate and needed. You know what I mean? It says, in the first quarter of 2020, ODJFS had 7,527 non-fraud overpayment cases and 1,347 fraud cases. Between March 15th and May 30th, 1.3 million Ohioans applied for unemployment insurance. I think it's only like 10 million Ohioans. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people. As many as applied over the previous 3 years, right? Within 2 months, you had over 3 years the same amount applied. By May 23rd, about half of those people had received their first payment. State Rep John M. Rogers, and the truth be told, like a lot of people didn't get their payments until like a minute. You know what I mean? Like I know brothers that when it first went down was not getting unemployment. They had to keep on trying to apply, and it took like a month and a half, almost 2 months to start getting payments. It says by May 23rd, about half of those people have received their payments. State Rep John M. Rogers, a Democrat from Mentor on the Lake, asked Job and Family Services Director Kimberly Hall on May 27th, in a May 27th hearing about one of his constituents ordered to pay back all $5,000 she had received in benefits. They basically said there was a week where she was not provided satisfactory evidence. What the fuck do that even mean? They basically said that there was a week where she had not provided satisfactory evidence, Rogers said in the hearing, and I don't know why, because one of the 1 week she would have to give back all of the benefits she had received. Right, because if you're saying it's 1 week, why would 1 week that you can't prove something, you got to pay everything back? You know what I'm saying? Usually, like I said, you got to go through the process. They got to check and make sure you was employed at the company, yada, yada, yada. Prove it was a layoff and not a firing, yada, yada, yada. Then you're supposed to be applying because it's a process. So by the time you start, because you allocated a certain amount of money. You get what I'm saying? Like you automatically allocate. And that show you how bad that is because you got to take the time to think about it. This is just on the state level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's ODJFS. The $600 is coming from the feds. You get what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, they came up with this silly ass program to give you not only just the whatever you're supposed to get for unemployment, you supposed to also get an extra $600 from the government, from the federal government. And that's show you how they trying to actually like devalue the dollar. You know what I mean? They talking about the second stimulus is going to go to workers, but you got people unemployed. You ain't going to get them shit. I mean, just take the time to really just meditate on the logic of that shit. Because they looking at it like the workers. They don't give a fuck about the people that's poor or it ain't, you know what I mean? They looking at the people that's workers. They're going to be spending the money in the economy. This is a sick ass place, you know what I'm saying? And people want this shit to continue though. They basically said that there was, I read that part. Hall said that problems could easily crop up as the more than 1 million claimants file more paperwork every week. When you're talking about the kind of scale and unfamiliarity with our system, she said, there's a host of opportunities for mistakes in your weekly claims, attestations, and certifications. Spokesman Brett Crow said the program must flag erroneous claims despite widespread hardship. Right. So they saying basically if it's any kind of error that show up, and just, that show you how silly this government system. You know, I forgot what elder brought that up. I think it was Elder Yashua but he was talking about when we get a decade, the way we dealing with Esau's fucking paperwork, and we not. You see how stupid this is? People is bad. So they said, mind you, and to show you how dumb it is, like if you ever been to jail, you know what I mean? Like for them to do something that makes sense, they can't function. That show you how really people that work for the system are really dumb, because they really like it's like they can't comprehend on their own. You can't do this without this piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Like it just it boggles with the mind. You know what I mean? You done been giving these people like motherfucker, and then to show you how full of shit they is. I remember when they first passed the bill and said people was gonna get the extra $600. It was said that you didn't have to go look for a job. Like one of the stipulations of getting unemployment is you're supposed to look for a job every week. When they did this, it's supposed to be you ain't supposed to have to look for a job. But now I'm hearing they making you still go look for a job. How you gonna go look for a job if a lot of jobs closed? Like it's just it's funny. We are charged by the U.S. Department of Labor with maintaining program integrity through audits that judge our ability to distribute the proper amount of benefits to those eligible, he said via email. When an overpayment occurs, we owe it to those who need these benefits and Ohio taxpayers to ensure unemployment compensation payments are accurate. Additionally, he wrote, if benefits are not provided to individuals who are not eligible for them, employers can be charged for those benefits, and this can lead to an increase in their tax rates. When so many businesses are struggling, the last thing we want is to increase their tax burden. But you about to raise taxes anyway. Typically, when workers lose their jobs and file for unemployment, their most recent employer pays part of the tab through increased unemployment insurance tax. Now, I've never known that. When Governor Mike DeWine ordered restaurants and bars to close on March 15th, he declared the burden for increased unemployment taxes will be mutualized. A state pamphlet says the mutualized fund is fed by a tax on all employers, and covers employment claims that can't be attributed to any individual employer. So this is something they created during all of this. Boeheim says she hopes for the demand for repayment was a mistake. She filed an appeal and the department set a hearing by phone where she can plead her case. Hall told legislators that as the department finished processing the hundreds of thousands of claims received since mid-March, it was preparing for an onslaught of appeals. So basically, a lot of the people they let get that money, they about to basically try and take off. And like I said, this is just from the state level. This ain't even the federal. I mean, like I said, I don't know how that works. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't receiving it. I'm not receiving it. I know a couple of brothers that's receiving it. But like I said, like that extra 600 is not coming from, the normal like state. That's coming from the federal government. The state is appealing all this shit with the people. The department letter to Boeheim also suggested another option: apply for pandemic unemployment assistance, part of a federal program extended to unemployment benefits to people who wouldn't typically qualify, including independent contractors and people whose weekly income was under the regular unemployment threshold. To avoid further boggling down the old and overwhelmed unemployment computer system, the state launched a separate online system for people to apply for that program. That system went live on May 15th. It logged 209,007 applications. The system is running into problems as well. And that's how he ended the article. You're like, that shit ain't working right. So at the end of the day, just show you how this shit is done. This system is lightweight. Oh, it, you know what I'm saying? And then it just also show you the double-mindedness of Esau. Like I said, like they approved the shit and then turned around and basically like taking you off of it. Because at the end of the day, no city, no state, no country can thrive without a thriving economy. You get what I'm saying? And you got a lot of people, you got people spending money, you know what I mean? It's summertime. You got niggas, of course, but you got niggas that realizing like, I ain't about to really blow no money like that. Like, it ain't really no money to blow. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit is going to be horrific. This is the book of James, chapter 1, verse 8. A double-minded man, Salakia. Yeah, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So basically, like I said, Esau is an unstable man. You know what I mean? 2/3 can be, you got people in the truth could be, you know what I mean? They not really in the truth. You know what I mean? But my point being is that's unstable. You know what I'm saying? That's double-minded. You know what I mean? Like at the end, Esau will do some shit. Like you gotta remember, Esau this is not like just made up or conspiracy theory. These are fucking facts. You've had like the guy Freeway Ricky Ross. He literally told you who his connect was. The fucking government. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's double-minded. You bringing and selling and bringing in the same product that you putting people in jail for. That's double-minded. Then people wondering why this system is so fucking corrupt and just so much fucking wickedness here. Salakia for all, my Swahili. This is, I'm going to end the lesson with this book, scripture in the book of Ecclesiasticus or the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It said, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Because basically when iron rusts, you know what I mean? Like you got to go through a process to bring that back. But when you, like say, when you got rust on a car, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, usually you got to cut that out and put a new piece of metal in there, you know what I mean? Because even if you clean it up, it's still going to see through. You still going to see through it, you know what I mean? Like, though he humbled himself. So even like, and you've seen it at times. Come on, I can give you an example of when Esau came over to this land, didn't know how to motherfucking do anything here, and actually had to humble himself to Gad to teach him how to motherfucking live on the land. And what did he do? After he learned the ways to be able to survive, he actually snaked Gad out of the land. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. So at the end of the day, like, and that's for those that put their faith in the system. Like this system is crumbling in your face. That article just proved that, like, they gave you unemployment. They telling you it's not fraud. It's just some kind of mistake. It sounds like to me they trying to buy time, keep this shit going. It's like I told you, it's multiple states and municipalities, which are cities, local municipalities and states that's going bankrupt. You know what I mean? People, that tax money that they get out of all them checks, if you ain't got half the people working no more, you know what I mean? You know how much it costs to run a city? You know what I mean? I mean, so with that, I'm gonna end the lesson. I want to give all praise, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. I pray that this shit happen next month. I mean, it's all the will of the Lord. But I'm so I feel like Mr. Smith in the Matrix. This bitch stink, and you know it's the smell. I hate this fucking place. With that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Call Halayim, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba Hashem, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who told me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and risking their lives to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, it was an edifying video. And shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad. Shalom, shalom, mawak, lababol, shalom.